Dexter Henry, man. I know you cover all the sports, but basketball is back and the Knicks are back.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I was watching the first preseason game last week. In Abu Dhabi, they had two in Abu Dhabi. I was excited. I was at media day for them. Whenever basketball's back, it feels good. Combo feels good.
A lot of overreactions right now over the two Knicks preseason
Yeah.
games. What are your thoughts?
You know what's funny? Before you came on here, I was just looking at rewatching some film from both of those games. My thoughts are, I think you and I talked about this last time I was on here too, right? Like about the Knicks making this change from Tom Thibodeau to Mike Brown. And I think you're seeing some of the benefits very early on. While it still is a work in progress, you're just seeing how the ball is moving freer. Guys are looking to get open. You can see what Mike Brown talked about in media day, wanting guys to run to the corner, especially his wings. They're doing that. The Knicks are getting good looks. And I could start to see, especially from the second game to the first game, you see that mindset is getting to everybody. I think it's going to help this Knicks team. It's going to help them get easier baskets before other defenses get set. That's huge in the NBA. Good teams, good two-way teams do that now. We saw that with the Thunder, obviously won the championship. Even the Pacers, who were in the finals last year. The Cavaliers, the Celtics, before their injuries. Good teams find easier ways to score. The Knicks' way of scoring was way too laborious. And I think you're seeing less of that now. And this is just the beginning stage of it. So it's going to get better. But I like what they're trying to do. So that's where I'll go. But, I don't know what they're going to be. I don't know how good the offense could be. I think there's a lot of potential there. I'm not going to overreact to anything. But I like the start of seeing them getting easier buckets, especially for their star in Jalen Brunson, especially for me. Seeing him scoring some plays without the ball in his hands. I think I was watching. It was in the second game. He had a really good action. He inbounded the pass, got it back off of a double screen, and had a catch and shoot three. I love seeing stuff like that because if he's a really good shooter, and if he can get buckets like that, that's going to help them because you're going to have the ball in his hands late, especially in the playoffs. But if he's not as exhausted from having to do all that work with the ball in his hands early, I think that can help this Knicks team down the stretch.
There's a lot more Jalen Brunson in the corner, though, Dexter. Are you concerned at all when it comes to this Knicks offense? Brunson did say this would be a long journey. He's used to having the ball in his hands. If I'm the best player on the team, I want the ball in my hands all the time. Maybe Jalen Brunson is more selfless than me, but are there any concerns for you?
Nah, for me, here's why there's no concern. I know he's ascended to where he's ascended, Combo, but we've seen him play with other ball-dominant players. Now, nobody's going to be more ball-dominant than him. I think you will see the usage go down a little bit. He played with Luka Doncic and played well off of him. He played on a team that had Luka Doncic, Spencer Dinwiddie, another ball-dominant guard, and him on the same roster, and he was fine. So I think it's good because I think it's going to give more opportunities for Mikal Bridges to have the ball in his hands. And Mikal Bridges has had some spots where I've liked some things I've seen from him in this preseason in those two games, but he's actually was attacking the rim and not fading away. I like that. But as far as Brunson goes, no, I'm not concerned. I think he'll have more of the adjustment of the actions where he's moving off of screens and getting catch and shoot opportunities. But he talked about this on media day. He said, look, I'm going to do what it takes to win. I believe that about Jalen Brunson. I think he knows it's going to help him. Late in games, he's going to have the ball. Late in tight games, the ball is going to be in his hand. There's no doubt about that. But I think he's going to be fresher now because he's not going to have to be doing it the entire game. It's not going to be as laborious. And the Knicks, they've got some good ball handlers on the team. Malcolm Brogdon, who might make this team, even though he'll probably be like a 10th man, he's probably their second best, ball handler that you trustworthy ball handler, I'll say, on this team. And I think the minutes he's come in and run with the bench has looked really good. You can even play some lineups with Brogdon and Brunson, Brogdon and Clarkson. There's some things I like there and what Mike Brown could do with his guard. So, yeah, I'm not worried about Jalen Brunson combo. I think he's a winning player, and I think winning players can adapt, and they'll find ways to win.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a winning player. And also I would say with him playing hero ball for 40 minutes, there's probably some kind of ceiling on this team. And I believe, I predict this team to win a championship. Speaking about overreactions, I said this before the preseason, though, Dexter. So it's
your prediction is the Knicks to win the championship?
Yeah, I just think that their path.
We're going to have a deeper conversation. That's coming on another show.
We'll do that on another show. But I just I just think There's no easy path to win a championship at all, ever.
Facts.
People who work in the NBA always tell me it's tough to win one game in the NBA, let alone an NBA. It's like every night it's like tough to win. But I would say, the path in the East is a lot easier than any path in the West. And I don't believe OKC will repeat because, yes, they won a championship, but it sounds crazy. I think they're too inexperienced to repeat. Does that sound crazy?
Damn. But they got so much experience from getting to the top of the mountain. I understand what you're saying.
So you think OKC will win?
You know what's funny? I haven't thought about what my prediction is yet. I think OKC can win. I don't think it's crazy that you're saying the Knicks can win.
Yeah.
I want to say, I don't think that's crazy. I think there's also, I'll say, this is what I'll make maybe it'll help your case. You and I you're going to have to come on my show. We're going to have to talk about this.
For sure.
I think there's a world in which the Knicks, they could be the team that gets the most better throughout the season.
Okay.
So the Knicks have some things going for them. They've got some continuity in the players, the core of players, but they also have this new coaching system coming in. So there is a change. They are banking on that being their biggest upgrade this year. They also supposedly, we'll see how this works, supposedly have fortified the bench. I like the bench moves. I like Jordan Clarkson. I like Gershon Yabusele. There's a world in which I think this team will look good, but I could be stronger. And this is what you hope. You're a Knicks fan. They're playing their best basketball towards the end of the season because they understand Mike Brown's system offensively and defensively. I think the Knicks are the most balanced team in the East. I do. And I think a lot of that is because while Cleveland could be good, I still don't trust Cleveland. And I think the Knicks' wings are better than Cleveland's wings. And I think they've got the advantage there. Listen, this is the finals or bust season for the Knicks. This is that much I will say. I think the organization has said that. They got to get to the finals. Anything less than get back to Eastern Conference Finals is a total failure. But
this is another year under their belt of experience. I think they learned a lot last year. I do think the ball movement and player movement that Mike Brown's philosophy will bring to this team is big time. And I will also say, OKC Thunder, very young. I know they won a championship. Some of the other contenders, kind of too old with the Warriors and the Lakers in the West. Mm-hmm. Halliburton out, Tatum out. I would also say that the Knicks, are in their prime window too. Mm-hmm. They're not young, they're not old, they're right in that window. I think it's all lining up for a Knicks championship.
Look, I hope you're right. I'd love to see it. I'd love to be covering it. But, it's a long way to go, and you got to get better. Mm-hmm. Health is a factor. Who you match up with is a factor. I mean, listen, the East to me is open for the Knicks. That's where I'm with you 100%. The East is wide open for the Knicks. I don't think it's a cakewalk, but I think it's an easier path.
Yeah.
Right? I think there's teams, I think you got to watch out for Atlanta this year. We'll see how Orlando is. Now they've got Desmond Bane. I'm also not sleeping on Detroit. They're just getting a little bit better. They get Jaden Ivey back. I don't think it's a cakewalk, but I think the Knicks, they should be the first or second seed to me in the East. I also think how they're going to manage the season is going to be different. I still think they're going to win a lot of games. I think they'll win between 55 to 58 games. I do, but I don't think they're going to be going hard every night. I think they're going to get more from their bench. I think players are going to be more rested. I don't think players are going to be as burnt out by the time you get to postseason. These were all my criticisms of Tom Thibodeau, who I love what he did, but I actually think the organization was smart in looking at Tom Thibodeau and saying, to get to the next level, we got to have players more rested. We got to be able to get easier buckets than we have been. That's what's going to take us over the top because we've got talent. And I think you got to maximize this offense because the Knicks' two best players offensively are their two weakest defensive players.
100%.
So you got to figure out how do you maximize this offense going forward.
And I think that Mitch starting kind of helps that out, knowing that Cat and Brunson as a duo who you need on the court at almost all times in pressure situations and the serious situations is going to really help this team because he's such a defensive presence.
Yeah, it's funny because I was kind of in the camp of I wanted to see Miles McBride start, even though I had my questions on that because it's a little too small in the backcourt. But I think what you're going to see is, though, people wanted to see the Knicks go true five out. So Cat at center, OG at the 4, Mikal at the 3, Deuce at the 2, Brunson at the 1. it's a small lineup. I think you will see that in spurts in games. I think you might see that for a 3-4 minute stretch, depending on the matchup. But I've come over. I think Mitch starting at the 5 is the best thing for this team. In the preseason, 2 games so far, we'll see how that looks on Thursday. Cat has looked good at the 4 position. And Cat's best basketball.
Down, supposedly. That's the word, right? Yeah, slim down to play the 4.
Yeah, and Cat's best basketball, as we know, combo, came playing the 4 next to Rudy Gobert. So we'll see. I've come around on, I'm like, you know what? I liked how Mitch looked in these first couple of games. I don't want to go crazy because it was against, some unserious bigs on the Sixers. No disrespect to them. But Mitch, we know what he could do in terms of on the glass. We know what he could do in terms of his defensive presence. I like him starting, but I think Mike Brown is going to be flexible with these lineups more than people realize.
All right, so you're not concerned about Brunson at all?
Nope.
Injuries is always a concern for every NBA team, so I don't want to go there. So outside of all of that, what's your biggest concern for this New York Knicks team?
I think taking injuries out of it, my biggest concern is in the playoffs, are teams going to be able to repeatedly pick on Brunson and Cat? Ooh. That and do they have enough defensively to get stops? Because I do think Mike Brown's going to maximize this offense. They've got really good defensive wings. We know OG is big time. He wants to, I think he'll be in the defensive player of the year or first team all defense conversation. Bridges, I think, is going to be more relaxed this season. I thought he was starting to come into his own in the playoffs. But yeah, if Mitch is on the floor, do they have enough to cover up those weaknesses? Does Cat play better defensively because he knows he has Mitch behind him? And Mitch looks a little more spry. He looks a little more bouncy. He's healthy. Yeah. He's changed some of his diet, but he's got to stay healthy. That's the thing. And how much do the Knicks? I think my biggest concern. It's not a concern for me because I think the Knicks are going to lean into their depth. But to me, it's the defense. If they can defend. If they can be I don't think they're going to be a top 10 defense, but if they're somewhere between like 10 and 12, 10 and 13, top 13 in the league, I think they could win the championship. But the defense has to at least be respectable. That's what I think he has for it. Can it be respectable with Brunson and Cat on the floor, particularly in the playoffs?
Yeah, you mentioned Miles McBride, and there is a 6-man situation going on, and I don't like the overreactions that I'm hearing when it comes to Jordan Clarkson. Because Jordan Clarkson, let me tell you, is their only hooper. They have a lot of great basketball players, but Jordan Clarkson is their only hooper. And this was a big discussion on the internet. What's a basketball player? What's a hooper? It's kind of like if you know kind of thing. Yeah, like they are different.
I know what you mean.
I mean, Jordan Clarkson is this team's only hooper, and I do think he should be their 6th man.
He's the guy. Here's what I think people underrate about Jordan Clarkson. And I know his numbers have dipped in efficiency the last 3 seasons. However, what I will say to that is he was playing in Utah, not with much talent around him. He's still a highly efficient half-court scorer. He's a guy who can go get a bucket anytime for you. Now, there's going to be some games where he's 3 of 12, 4 of 14, because he could be streaky like that.
The gift and the curse of the hooper.
Yeah. But the hooper's a guy who's going to get you some buckets, and it's going to look good. You're going to be like, ooh, can't believe he did that. You know what I mean? Like that's the hooper. I understand the hooper gives you a feeling. He's a player off the bench that gives you that feeling, right? Here's the other underrated thing I think about Jordan Clarkson combo. He's a better playmaker than people give him credit for. He was averaging over 4 assists in Utah. I'm looking for him as off the bench. Can you give me 3 assists? Can you find some guys pushing it on the break? I think this is a good offense for him. I really do. Whether he's the first guy off the bench or the second guy off the bench, I particularly don't think that matters. Whether it's him or Deuce, I don't really think it matters. I think both those guys are going to play about 20 minutes a night. And I think Clarkson is a guy who can have a few. Deuce is I would say a little more valuable because of his defense. But with Deuce, what he doesn't have that Clarkson has is if I give Clarkson the ball and might go get a bucket, he's the one dude off the bench, and that's what you mean. He's the one guy off the bench where you're like, go get a bucket. I think you get a bucket. I'll put Brogdon right there after him too, but Brogdon isn't quite as prolific as
Brogdon's a basketball player.
Yeah. and he's
Clarkson's a
savvy.
hooper. He's great.
savvy.
I always loved his game, and I'm glad he's in a winning
too.
situation now.
I just hope he stays healthy. That's the thing with him too. Brogdon is savvy. He could run. He could run your team off the bench.
He's actually a better basketball player than Miles McBride too.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
because where Deuce has to get a little bit better, and we saw some of this in the first couple of games, and I want to see more. He's got to get a little better with the ball in his hands, what he can do off the bounce.
Yeah,
he looked confident though. That's what I'll say about him. He looked confident, and he'd been dealing with some hamstring issues the last couple of years. So I think if he's healthy, he'll be fine.
Are you concerned in big playoff situations having Miles and Jalen in the backcourt when it comes to defense? Even though Miles is good defensively, I mean, that's a small backcourt for the modern NBA.
Yeah, it is. And that's why, while I wanted to see Deuce out there because of his three-point ability in terms of the starting lineup, the size is what's concerning in the modern NBA. Listen, it can work against certain teams. I think if you're going up against Cleveland, it's not going to hurt you because their backcourt is small. But if you're playing, Detroit, do you want to do that? That's got a little bit more size. If you're playing Orlando or Atlanta now with some of the moves they've made, right? Mm-hmm. You've got Dyson Daniels. I know Trey Young's a small guard, but you got Dyson Daniels next to him. You have Jalen Johnson. You got a lot of guys with length on that team. Yeah. So, yes, that would concern me in how many minutes you could play them in a playoff series. But it's not something I think Mike Brown is going to be very cognizant of, okay, this is a matchup where I can use this. This is a matchup where I can pull this out. I think he's going to – a lot of the way he uses lineups will be matchup dependent.
Yeah, you mentioned that Atlanta team. I like that Porzingis, Trey Young duo. I mean, it's really nice. I mean, Porzingis could clean up some of what Trey isn't defensively. He's also a lob threat, pick and pop. Trey's one of the best passers in the league. I mean, that could get dangerous. And Jalen Johnson is an ascending star himself.
He's got to stay healthy himself, too. They got some guys with some health concerns in Jalen Johnson and KP. But I like what Atlanta has done to sort of restructure their team. From where they were a couple years ago when they tried the DeJounte Murray, Trey Young experiment that didn't work. I just love the length they have. Dyson Daniels is a player I always loved coming out the draft combo.
Yeah, man.
They've got some good defenders. You can see what they're trying to do, too, right? It's like, can we get some good athleticism on the wing? Mm-hmm. We got Ricochet. Can we surround Trey
with defense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's why, people still going to critique the Knicks for the 5 first-round picks from Mikal Bridges and all that other stuff. But that was the price of getting an elite defensive wing. It was also the Brooklyn tax. This is what the Knicks are trying to do. How do we best support this team defensively around Brunson and Cat? That's the same thing they're trying to do. And it is, I will say this, it's hard to hide 2 bad defensive players in the NBA. Cat's not a good defender. Brunson's not a bad defender. It's more of his size. It's not about effort with Brunson. That's not the problem. The problem is there's just certain things Brunson can't do because he's 6'1".
I mean, people knock Trey for his defense, but I think there's actually some effort on Trey's size. It's the same thing with Trey. It's like he's just too small.
Yeah, he's gotten better.
Brunson's a way better defender than Trey.
He is than Trey.
Yeah,
Trey at first was not even trying to get over screens. And
He got better.
He was just dying on screens, right? And it was just bad. Brunson's not that. I just think some of it's just a limitation of his size. Cat, I'm intrigued to see how he looks better at the 4 and with Mitch next to him maybe playing more minutes. He looked more comfortable to me in certain situations defensively. But we'll see. All this stuff is going to be a work in progress, man. We'll see.
Who's the biggest threat in the East for the New York Knicks?
I want to say the Cavs.
They're so disappointing in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, but I'm not sure I believe it, and I actually am probably more inclined to say Atlanta.
Over the Magic.
Yeah. I think I like Atlanta more than I like Orlando. I think I like their offense-defensive balance. I think they're going to be rejuvenated. The thing for me with them is health. But I think Atlanta is going to cause problems for a lot of teams. Their length. I don't know if they're going to be able to get it done and get over the top, but I do think they're going to cause some problems. I could see Atlanta, if the Knicks face them, giving them a tough second-round series. I could see it. Would it shock anybody if Atlanta upset Cleveland? Wouldn't shock me.
Hey, a lot of people knock Trey Young, but he's a proven playoff player. What'd you think about the Pat Bev Trey Young thing? Here's my take. There's levels to basketball. Trey Young is a way better basketball player than Pat Bev, but Pat Bev is a way better broadcaster. That's my take.
Pat Bev is a way better podcaster than Trey Young. Trey Young is not concerned about that right now. Look,
he's not.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing in this podcasting space too, and I like Pat Bev and some other podcasters out there. I can only take you seriously. I peep game on what you're doing. Like I understand how you're trying to get engagement up and get people to listen.
Well, there's a guy. I'm not even going to say his name, but there's the guy he's all that. That's all he cares about. A former NBA player. I'm not going to say his name because he's actually doing great things out on the West Coast. But it's all about that. Which we all need to do a little bit of that, to be honest. But
yeah. I mean, I'm not knocking him for it. I'm just saying I know what it is. Like, and that's cool. And I'll be honest. Like, it's not my cup of tea of podcast and listen to, but for some people it is. I'm not knocking it. I just see what it is. He cares seriously. Listen, Trey Young has had one run to the Eastern Conference Finals. I personally was never sold on that Hawks team. I think this is a better Hawks team that Trey Young's playing with this year than that team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals, to be honest. I do. I wouldn't call Trey Young a bad player. That guy's got stones. We've seen him come in Madison Square Garden and hit big shots. Yeah, rolled the dice that pissed off Knicks fans. And, I said it to Knicks fans after. You were mad at that. Well, you want the Knicks to be mad at that. Beat them. I love some good shit.
I think that's what Brunson actually said. Yeah. He said we got to beat them. Yeah.
I agree with that. And listen, I'm here for all the smoke, the shit talking in the NBA. I love it. But if you don't like it happening to your team, they got to win, man. That's it.
A'ja Wilson, 4 MVPs. Is she in that GOAT conversation?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, for a long time, my GOAT in terms of women's basketball has been Candace Parker. But A'ja Wilson, what she's done right now, and looks to be on her way to another Finals MVP. I mean, she's absolutely in that GOAT conversation. Half of her career, she's won MVP. Do you realize how amazing that is?
That is crazy.
4 out of the 8 years she's played professionally in the W, she's won MVP. Like, that's insane. And I hope that people realize how good she is at what we're witnessing right now. I mean, listen, you want to talk about the GOATs, you're going to talk about her. You can talk about Cheryl Swoops. You can talk about Maya Moore. You're going to talk about Candace Parker. But she's putting herself in a very rare class of women's player. And this is why I hated the narratives from people that acted like Caitlin Clark was saving basketball and she is the best thing ever that came along, and disrespecting women like A'ja Wilson, who's the best player in the game right now. Disrespectful to even, like, Caitlin Clark could be there, but she ain't there yet. Yeah, you can clip that.
Yeah, 100. You know exactly that's what I'm.
You clip that,
me, Dexter. You know me too well. That's exactly.
I know you.
What
I saw it in your eyes. You were like, oh man.
Bill Simmons likes to say, turn the TikTok camera on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And listen, I'm just saying. I'm only saying that because I just think there were a lot of women in the W by non-W fans that were disrespected, and I hated that. I hated that. That's not shade to Caitlin Clark. That's just, it was disrespectful, and the pressures that people even put on her. I think Caitlin Clark is dope, but she ain't even A'ja Wilson yet. She's not even Nafisa Collier yet, right? She's not even Alyssa Thomas yet, Breonna Stewart. There's levels. She's a top 10 player probably in the league, though she's got to cut down on turnovers and shoot the ball better, but she's got a ways to go. But A'ja, man, Asia's cold, man. She's cold. And the thing is, this season looks even as good as her last MVP, and looks like she could be getting better. I'm intrigued to see what she does next year 9 and year 10. Like, she's still so good, man.
LeBron, you heard about the decision 2.0?
Yeah.
It's not going to be retirement, I'll tell you that.
You don't think it's going to be retirement?
No.
What do you think it's going to be?
You know what? And I'm going to this is going to be in the morning in people's podcast app, so maybe I'll look crazy, but no, he wouldn't roll it out like this.
Why? Why do you think LeBron James would not roll it out like this?
Because it looks like a troll. It looks like a joke.
Well, let me ask you this. How did you feel about the first decision when it was going down?
I'm not as mad at LeBron as everybody else was. Like, yes, it was a mistake. I think he knows it was a mistake.
But he's doing the second one.
Well, that's why I think it's almost a troll. Like, you know.
But was he? What?
So you're thinking your thought process is maybe he's trying to correct the first decision by making a better second decision?
Yeah, and it's like the decision to retire is year 23 for him.
I think he will retire soon. I don't think this is how he rolls it out.
LeBron is done
because he's trying to stay. He's trying to stay in the media's attention, which he's doing a great job of. But I don't think this. I think it's more of that than him rolling out his retirement. That's me personally. So you think it's a retirement?
I do.
Wow.
I think LeBron knows his time. I think he's decided to retire. I could be wrong.
Wow.
And it feels very LeBron to make a decision, sit down and talk about his retirement. Feels very LeBron.
I don't know. You might be swaying me here.
This is all on brand.
You spent a lot of years in media decks. I think you're starting to sway me. Are you sorry?
Yeah, listen.
No, you're not. You're not. I don't think. Nope. I don't think so.
But if he's trolling, what do you think he's trolling us about?
It's some kind of So I think he's trolling because he wants people to maybe think that it's this, but I also think it's a rollout for something else, business-wise. That's what I think.
I could see that. I see what
because this is going to bring the most attention to that conversation that he's going to have, and it's going to have all the eyeballs there, and then he's going to roll something out. It's a product.
I can see that.
Some kind of
you
business.
know what? I can't say that what you're saying isn't very LeBron-like either. Can't say I disagree.
That's what I really think it is. Like I really do respect your opinion a lot. I'm a little bit surprised though that you think it's retirement.
You know what? My true feelings are. I saw it today and I kind of was like,
there's something trolly about it.
I kind of don't care. Okay. I don't like.
I respect it.
It's whatever it's gonna be, I'll see it. I kind of don't care.
Okay.
But I think both of what we're saying feels very LeBron.
Yes.
You could be right. I could be right. Either way, it's going to be very LeBron in how it's done.
Yeah, the picture or the video that it was so LeBron right there. It was just so manufactured, you know?
Listen, a lot of these athletes now controlling their own media and their own stuff. Some for good, some for bad. I don't think that's always good, but sometimes it is good. Whatever his decision is on this, pun intended, he should have the right. He should have the right to control that and let it be out that way. If he's retiring, he'll get the send off. LeBron, I think, definitely wants a retirement farewell tour. I think he absolutely wants that and deserves it. There's no doubt about that. I just think it just seems fitting he would go out in his 23rd season.
Okay.
Number 23 would do that, but we'll see.
Okay. Rapid fire to get out of here. It's all off the top of the dome. I didn't even plan this. Okay. I didn't even plan this.
Well,
right. First of all, what borough are you from?
Brooklyn. BK all day.
Okay. Your Mount Rushmore of New York sports players.
Yo, it's crazy because we just did this whole thing at the Post early this year, the Mount Postmore. Mount Rushmore of New York sports players. I'm going Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No, I mean New York sports franchise players.
Oh, they have to have played here in New York, not born in New York. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going.
And it doesn't have to be basketball. I'm talking about all sports.
I know, you're talking all sports. I'm thinking. I'm really thinking. To be fair to everything. I think I'm not a Yankee fan, but I think you got to put Derek Jeter.
Wow.
Walt Clyde Frazier.
Okay.
Mount Rushmore of I'm football. I'm gonna go Lawrence Taylor.
Okay.
And 4, I'm going to go. This is tough because you had like winning matters so much in this. I'm gonna go Mark Messier.
I'm surprised that Derek Jeter is over Babe Ruth for you.
I went with, for the most part, if you notice my list, who I saw play.
Okay.
So I kind of kept it to that. If somebody wants to put Babe Ruth, that's fine. I also feel like I have my thoughts on that too, which is I'm not saying Babe Ruth wasn't dope because I know it's going to come out across as that to people, but
No,
You
it
know?
doesn't. No, that doesn't mean that. I know that.
I also feel like it was a different era of baseball. I kind of look at those numbers a little bit skewed. I know people don't like this, but it's also an era where they kept black players out. So I look at the stuff early on in baseball very differently, and I don't necessarily reward as many of the great players of that era as maybe they should be.
Top
So yeah,
three,
that's my Mount Rushmore.
top 3 rappers from New York.
Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie.
Nas over Tupac?
Yeah, Nas over Tupac all day.
Wow.
I mean, those are my top 3 favorite rappers of all time also, too. So
Okay.
that's my top 3. I'll let people know my top 5, rounding that out, is Black Thought and Kendrick. So that's it. Those are my top 5. But top 3, and also from New York, Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie.
Mount Rushmore of New York Liberty players.
Oh, I did this, too. I actually did this recently. Breonna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, Teresa Weatherspoon, and Vicky Johnson.
Fact or fiction? Wemby is a top 5 NBA player.
Yes, fact. Listen, you have been on this train. I remember you sat with me on my show.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 years ago, and you were talking about Wemby. I don't remember what you said. I think you said you could win MVP. This was last year. I think
He's going to be. Hey, you know what? Wemby and Zion have MVP chances this year. Believe it or not.
I'd put some money down on Wemby for MVP. Give me all the Wemby stock, man. I'll tell you what I think is a lock for Wemby, defensive player of the year. If he's healthy, I think he's a lock for that. He was going to get it last year.
Yeah. I mean, their team just wasn't good enough.
Yeah. You think the Spurs make the playoffs this year?
Yeah. I mean, I think they're young and everybody's getting better. Somebody's hurt though. You know who's hurt right now? Dylan Harper.
Oh, Dylan Harper. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much he changes their playoff chances because he's so young, but I mean, he's really talented.
We got Castle. We'll see how Fox and Wemby look. We'll get a good look at that. The Spurs are one of my more intriguing teams to watch this year.
All right. Wait. Last one. Mount Rushmore of Mets players.
Oh. Okay. So 2 easy ones for me off the top. Darryl Strawberry, Doc Gooden. They are the reasons I'm a Met fan. Mike Piazza. And then I'm going to put i.e. Tom Seaver. You got to put Tom. Even though I didn't see him play, you got to put Tom Seaver. He's the greatest Mets pitcher. He's got to go up there.
Shouts to DJ Strawberry, Daryl's son. Great dude.
Yeah.
Played a few months with him overseas. Great guy.
Yeah, and he played at Indiana, right? DJ Strawberry played
Maryland.
at Indiana. Maryland. Yeah, he played
great
Maryland.
Dude. Yeah. Dexter, thanks so much for taking the time. You know you're always welcome back. Where can we find you? Social media and everywhere else?
Everybody can find me at DHenry TV on the New York Post Sports YouTube channel. If you like the shows, New York Got Game, Liberty Lately, Straight Out of Flushing, hit that subscribe button. Check us out there. Appreciate y'all.